Guys, this is it. And it is amazing. 2013 is on its way out the door, and we are coming into 2014. I am excited. I don't know about you. And honestly, this is going to be the last NG minute of 2013, as well as the last TNA of 2013 and SmackDown of 2013. Well, Raw can't really celebrate the New Year because the New Year's Eve is on Tuesday, but either or, who cares? But honestly, guys, I know I have not done a Raw review is because I was with my family, so I kind of postponed on that. I don't know if I'm going to do a Raw review next week either because I'm going to be with my family. But regardless of that, let's get started with this NG Minute and talking about TNA. There were a lot of changes in TNA, and number one, Bully Ray broke up with Miss Tessmacher, which is something that I kind of predicted. I knew that Brooke was gonna be brokenhearted somehow by Bully Ray. Then you got Velvet Sky being dumped by Chris Sabin, even though we knew that was gonna be coming. But the biggest shocker-ish for me, well, yeah, I guess it is somewhat of a shocker, is the fact that Mr. Creature himself, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, walked out because things got so hard with Dixie Carter. I just can't take him. Sorry, creatures, but I gotta leave. Wow. That's the opposite of what I remember Jeff Hardy to be. Like, that man had so much heart, he would put his entire body on the line. He wouldn't care until he got to where he wanted to be. And he wouldn't let not anybody stop him, not Vince McMahon. This is the polar opposite of what I have seen Jeff Hardy go through. But I know a lot of things have changed in his life. There's a lot of things that he's been thinking about. I wouldn't be surprised this is actually a lifelong decision he's been thinking about. Retiring, which I think is the best thing for him to do because his body, he literally has the bones of probably of a 60-year-old man. Probably older than that, maybe a 70-year-old man. A 70-year-old man that has been beaten up by the ring for however many years that he's been there. But honestly, it really does show that TNA is starting to go downhill. Not even that heel DC Carter can bring anything back. And it kind of does make me sad. They do have a huge following overseas, but here, they just can't beat out WWE. And I'm really hoping that 2014 is going to be something different for them. Like, TNA really does need to revamp their brand. They need to come with something different. Shoot, bring back the 8-sided ring. Do something that makes you different from the WWE. That's the reason why that WCW was so successful. They were different from the WWE at the time, and WWE was floundering. They were just starting out, but now that they're a huge corporate juggernaut, you need to beef up your game. Do something that's different from what you see there. They need to be a little bit more creative, and I'm hoping that 2014 is going to be good to them, because right now it just doesn't seem like 2013 has done anything for them in the process. So let's be positive about the situation, and let's just say that TNA has a possibility of maybe doing something different. I don't know. Maybe Dixie Carter will just throw all cards in the ring and be like, look, we got to do something different because I don't want my company to fail. Let's just do something different. I don't know. We'll see. But let's move on to SmackDown. Has anything changed on SmackDown? No. Well, honestly, the only thing that everybody's beefing up and so happy and hoking up about is Batista's return on January 20th. That is a whole new discussion in itself. So I'm going to have, that's a whole separate video. So I'm going to have that for a later video. I got pretty much 3 discussions going on. But I'll talk about that after this. Honestly, guys, there was really nothing special for this SmackDown, but it's a given and that's understandable because it's still somewhat of a holiday. It's a few days after Christmas, but New Year's Eve is going around, and it's all about leaving 2013 with a bang. The only thing I can definitely say is I can talk about 2 matches, or 1 match and one match and the main event. Now, Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler. This kind of makes me sad because it reminds me of Daniel Bryan. While people keep saying that Daniel Bryan can't be a major draw, you got people chanting for him. His I mean, shoot, his catchphrase is way over. It's pushing him far to the stratosphere. And the guy is a talent in the ring, and he's a great face. And honestly, people are still saying that he's not a draw, and they're still putting him in the mediocre matches when this guy should be in the championship matches and should be the champion by now. Same thing with Dolph. He is great on the mic, and he's very well polished in the ring, and he makes anybody in the ring that he's with look good, even Mr. Robot Randy Orton. Now, girls, ladies, for those that are actually watching this, I know that you probably feel me in this situation. There's always a hot guy. When you actually see a hot guy come to you, and I know I said this a million times, you see a hot guy, you know the guy that you know who's hot, and he comes to you and he just speaks, and you're like, no. Like, that's pretty much it with Randy. Like, Randy Orton is great. He can express himself physically in the ring. He can be a monster heel without speaking. But when he opens his mouth, yeah, that's when he should shut it. But Randy Orton is exceptional in the ring, but he's still sloppy with his executions after all these years. But honestly, I really feel that Randy Orton is one of the most overrated champions there are. And I could pretty much make another video at that talking about how overrated he is, and I just might. But besides that, it really does make me sad that Dolph is consistently not getting the championship moments that he deserves. But what makes me happy about that match is that match did not go over cleanly. That match was a great match, and it's good that it didn't go over cleanly because it would have made Dolph Ziggler look bad. But the fact that it went out to where it was a DQ makes me happy because it still makes both competitors look good. But let's move on to the main event. The main event pretty much went on with Randy Orton. I'm not Randy Orton, but John Cena, Biggie Langston, and Mark Henry versus The Shield. Now, we had Dean Ambrose go up first versus Biggie Langston. The one thing that bothers me about that is that he's your U.S. champion. Now, guys, I have not really done or seen a lot of SmackDowns or Raws, and if there's something that I missed and Dean Ambrose is no longer the U.S. champion, let me know in the comments below. But either or, Dean Ambrose was the guy at first to be pushed to being the next guy to be a champion, like to move up to maybe the IC. But it seems to me that match was more of a foreshadowing event than it was actual a main event. And what I mean by that is that you got Dean Ambrose, the guy that we all thought was going to be pushed, pretty much had his butt handed to him by Biggie Langston. Then you got Mark Henry versus Roman Reigns. And I was literally looking forward to this match because even though Mark Henry is huge, you got Roman Reigns, which is practically almost up to his strength level, which would pretty much be a good match. And what happened? Roman Reigns pinned Mark Henry cleanly. And then you got Seth Rollins. We all knew what was going to happen there. It was versus John Cena. He ended up losing. Foreshadowing who is going to be the main guy standing tall when the Shield breaks? Roman Reigns. That's a foreshadowing event, folks. We all know that Roman Reigns is going to be the main guy to be pushed because number one, he's The Rock's cousin. Number two, the guy, excuse me. Number two, the guy has the size and the build and the strength and the voice that the WWE corporate team wants. And number three, he's going to be pushed way hard for the Royal Rumble and for WrestleMania. I would not be surprised if that guy goes against the streak. I would not be surprised if he goes against the streak. I doubt that he's going to win. I doubt he's going to even be in the Royal Rumble, but I'm telling you right now, the guy's going to challenge The Undertaker. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But honestly, guys, 2014 is going to bring a lot of different stuff to the table. And even though Raw has their New Year's Eve thing, whatever, the thing is, I'm looking forward to after New Year's. After New Year's happened that following week is when they're going to start beefing up the Royal Rumble. Actually, the Royal Rumble is going to pretty much be at 9 days after that. Or maybe 5. I don't know. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Because I know that Raw is on the 20th. Which means the Raw's on the 20th when Batista actually makes a return January 20th. And then the week after that, I think it's going to be the Rumble. So I'm interested to see how they're going to push that. But guys, I have 3 discussions that I'm probably going to beef up. And as well as my top 10 heels for 2013. was a little difficult. So I actually had to recruit some help. I recruited my friend NJ, and he came up with some good ones. But now I'm really trying to figure out how to piece it all together. So when I do, I'm going to put up for you guys to watch. But honestly, guys, it's been a great 2013. I'm happy it's rolling out. 2014 is right around the corner. And I want you guys to let me know what you're going to be doing for 2014. What are you going to be doing for New Year's? Shoot, tell me what you're going to do for 2014. Not only that, what do you think of these shows? And what do you think is going to be, do you think any of these events that actually happen on SmackDown is going to be foreshadowing to the Rumble? And what do you think about TNA? Is this actually a prediction of the crumbling of TNA before 2014 even comes around? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, it's been wonderful. It's been great. It's been swell. But I am peacing out. Later, dudes. See you in 2014.